Hello parents, this is Dayna. I'm going to share about how to develop hobbies and skill of a kid on the spectrum today. Many people have heard that some autistic children have special talent and some of them might even be geniuses. There are many famous people known to be on the spectrum that have made big names for themselves, like Albert Einstein, Sir Isaac Newton, and the famous Steve Jobs. But actually, they are just rumored to be on the spectrum without a real formal diagnosis from my research. They are usually quoted socially as genius on the spectrum and encourages a lot of parents that their newly diagnosed kid might have a remote chance that their child could turn out to be genius. No matter how clever or challenged the child can be, it is more important to focus our attention to train them and equip them with skills and mindset and nurture the motivation to learn rather than fantasizing and waiting for them to turn genius on their own. Because it's not going to happen that if you don't train them and they're just going to be genius. Now, not an easy task. How can we attempt to do it? Firstly, I always ask myself, as the main caretaker of my child and someone who would follow up on his learning journey, what's my strength? And if I try to focus and zoom in an area of more intense training, would I myself be able to follow up and follow through like a marathon? Because to be successful in a skill or to train as a hobby that's safe and can be competent, we not only have to look at our budget, time, and also our commitment level as to how much we can try to nurture this hobby and skill for our child on the spectrum. Kids on the spectrum tends to have a strong inclination to do well in visual arts or sports and sports. Some excel in music and some in coding related field too. There are also many vocational training centers that would place their emphasis on catering. I think expansion of a skill would usually start out as a hobby and then a routine, then a discipline to practice and improve before it actually really becomes a skill. There's really no shortcut to becoming proficient in what we want to excel in for all, be it whether the kid is special or not. And a special child have to work even harder than their mainstream peers in order to excel. How do we decide in which area to develop our child on the spectrum? Look at their strength. No matter what functioning level is the child, they will have an area of strength. It won't be too practical to try and develop a child who's low tone and poor in balance to do well in sports. Plus, if none of the parents are professional sportsmen. For myself, I started my child on piano and he's got hyperflex finger and was having problem holding pen and writing well. Piano was learned with an initial intention of training up his fingers, that's the fine motor skill. From there, I discovered that he actually had perfect pitch, which is actually quite a gift. And with his amazing memory skill, he managed to learn how to read music scores and started playing music by ears. From trying to train him, I discovered amazing strength and potential of my child and his ability to develop in music. I have also taught my child to develop other sports skills that have turned out to be just part of his hobby and weekend leisure activities. While I start zooming in on most resources and time on music training as a skill to develop for him. Now, a positive mindset leads to a positive future. This is Dayna from daynalim.com. Please kindly subscribe to my channel and press the subscribe bell for the latest video.